Christian Zionism is a very dangerous ideology, and it is actually something quite new. And it was a lot of it. People should read about something called the Scofield Bible, and people should read about the rapture and the end of days, and the supposed end of days Armageddon, which basically people are pushing for the second coming of Christ, for the evangelical Christ, or the coming of the real Messiah.
So they want
Jews.
like the world to end.
Exactly, and which is crazy. It's crazy that the whole idea about the Judeo-Christian values, there's nothing called Judeo-Christian values. This is something very new. This was not part of the founding fathers' ideology for America. And it is actually something that has been promoted very recently, the last 200 years. And it is crazy that the Christian Zionists want the second coming of Jesus. And in their ideology, when Jesus comes, all the Jews will either be killed or convert to Christianity. And for the Jewish ideology, when the Messiah comes, everybody will be enslaved by the Jewish people. So it's crazy that they both want the same thing, but with two different results.
So that's why they're supporting this movement.
Yes. You really need to read about this. I think the younger generation needs to be educated about not just a lot of the geopolitical movements in the world, even in the Western world, is actually driven by religion, which is funny because they've always been told, we in the Middle East, we in the Arab world, we in the Muslims, like, your religion is problematic, your beliefs are a problem, it's very violent. But they are actually, their driving force is extreme religions beliefs that is actually very harmful for the planet.
But you see, like how you said, not a lot of people are aware, like they're not knowledgeable in everything. But that's the problem with social media. They just put snippets, and kids are just consuming those little bits and pieces. They're not reading books like before. They're not going deep into history,
but
learning.
Even in social media, there are very short snippets in very informative videos about what you're looking for. Yeah. You can have all of your timeline about like dance moves, which is fine. But also there's a lot on Twitter and on TikTok and on social media and on Reels that discuss these things.
Yeah.
Where do you think I read books.
Yeah,
but it's not like I'm someone who just like in a library. I also get a lot of my information from internet, from the internet, from the social media, from YouTube, from all of these snippets.
But you have patience, and a lot of kids now, they're developing ADHD, and they're blaming
There's
it on social.
There's nothing called ADHD. This
so
is just,
it's like they don't have patience to consume.
I have to say, just like ADHD is just an excuse.
It's just a term.
It's an excuse for a shitty behavior. It's an excuse for someone who's irresponsible, an excuse for someone who doesn't want to have the responsibility of actually putting their mind to work. ADHD, there are criteria for diagnosing of ADHD. And there are certain criteria that needs to be fulfilled in order to say that I have ADHD, and then basically you have to qualify for having the medication for the ADHD. But not everybody who cannot focus is ADHD.
Yeah.
Okay? This is very important to set, even from a medical point of view.
Yeah.
All right? Now, a lot of people are actually want to. A lot of people can have. It's about what they want from life. They can waste the time away and just like watching short videos, or they can be educated about what's happening around the world. And this is something that you cannot push. This is why this is part of the reason I come to your show. I know that a lot of your followers are younger people.
Yeah.
And it's I think it is refreshing every now and then that they hear someone who's a little bit older and they can speak to them in different ways. And maybe they will skip it, and maybe it's like, this is too boring for me. But I think I want to be someone who speaks to people all across platforms, all across age groups, because I think it is very important. Instead of like me sitting there in my high chair making fun of young people, it's like, I'll look at you, look and dance. No, I think they are just living a different youthful life that is different from me, and I want to have the connection with you and talk to them because I have a lot to learn from them too.
Yeah.